Charania, the great NBA insider for The Athletic, he was the first to break the Rudy Gobert testing positive for coronavirus. Also, Kevin Durant, Christian Wood, two Laker players have all tested positive, and Shams was the leading man on those stories as well. When do you think we'll find out the Laker players who tested positive?
Yeah, Dan, great joining you. I think it's reached a point where it's really on the players to come forward or obviously my job as a reporter is to probe and see, but it's reached a level where I think there are two spectrums. I think there's one side of players that want to raise awareness and, want to, make things, I guess have their voice on it and really want to remind America and the public in terms of just like staying quarantined, staying safe, being careful. I think there is still that stigma around it for another sector of players and people. And so that's just something that everyone has to deal with. I'm not sure when those will be out there. I don't know who those two players are right now. But really it doesn't matter. Just the fact that, you've had, I think 5, 6, 7, 8 organizations, more than a handful of organizations now impacted by the coronavirus, and the whole league hasn't even been tested yet. And I think that just goes to show you kind of what's going on around the country in terms of there's an amount of cases right now that we know of, but I'm sure there are plenty more.
What do you think the likelihood is of basketball returning this year?
I wish I could tell you it's very likely. I don't know. I think you're really looking at playing from anywhere between June and August. I think that's where players and teams and owners and even the league office have essentially targeted those kind of that 3-month period. They had Dr. Vivek Murthy on the Board of Governors call, I was told, earlier this week, and he let all the owners know, kind of gave them some sobering facts in terms of this is going to reach an inflection point over the next 2 to 3 months across the country. And even in the NBA, the cases will rise, and the comparison to Italy was made. And so I think there's a soberness to that, and I think people realize this is not just going to be a quick fix in the next month, in the next 2 months. This is going to take some time. And so I don't know. And when is it, reach a point where we are not going to play?
Yeah.
Is it August? Is it July? I still think the players, whether it's LeBron James, especially those 3 teams at the upper echelon, the Lakers, the Clippers, and the Bucks, they all want to play no matter what, no matter if the season starts in August or September. The question is, will it be too late at that point?
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if we even have basketball later on. And as you're saying, June to August, that's a pretty big window there of going, maybe. And then can you get fans to go back, or you shorten the season? Do you start the playoffs right away? I was told maybe you do a best of 3 in the opening round, a best of 5 after that, and then best of 7 after that. I guess all ideas are on the table, but I'm starting to believe that we're not going to have the NBA this season.
And one more thing to really look at is the fact that the NBA starting today, as I reported yesterday, they're shutting down all their practice facilities, right? So the players are essentially quarantined at home, don't have a choice for the foreseeable future. And how will their game shape be, between now and let's say they have a 2-month layoff where, we're in the same period, as a country and as a league where you can't do anything. You can't go to the facility. You can't go to a public gym. Guys, their conditioning is going to taper off. I've had a handful of players express some, concerns about that with me as well in terms of that, this is going to affect our game shape. Are we going to be able to play when the season's back in July or August and we're not in shape? And so those are all things that the NBA has to think about. And I think that everyone wants basketball. There's no question about it. It's a matter of doing it safely. And I don't know how that's going to be. Is it going to be doing these games in G League arenas? Is it practice facilities? Is it, they're going to come up with something creative if this does go on in July or August.
Yeah. How do you think history is going to treat Rudy Gobert?
I've thought about this a lot over the last week, since last Wednesday. I think there's no question. I think he would even admit, and he has admitted, that there was some carelessness and, some recklessness in the way he touched the mics that previous, a couple days prior on that Monday. And just his behavior over the 2 days in terms of not fully understanding the veracity of this situation. But I think obviously he knows it now. I think the whole country knows it now. I think the NBA clearly has been at the forefront of it, and Adam Silver clearly has put his foot down and was the first pro league to suspend in America. And, everyone's kind of followed that same template ever since. And so I think he's going to be that first guy that tested positive and started a chain events in not only pro sports, but I think in America. I think that was a glaring moment across the whole country. And so someone had to be the first one. He was the first one. And as you're seeing now, this wasn't just all related to him. This wasn't just one player transmitting this disease or this virus. This is reaching every sector of the NBA, and it's only likely going to increase.
Shams, thank you. Great job on breaking those stories. We appreciate your time, and we'll be following you writing for The Athletic.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate
All right,
it.
that's Shams Charania.